Right, guys, I'm going to quickly take down the laughable bullshit spewed by Rishi Sunak in this clip. You know, the unelected and unwanted Prime Minister who backstabbed the elected Prime Minister to get in office and still couldn't get the votes to do it that way. So he then had to go back and stab a second Prime Minister in the back and tell the media and scumbags in Parliament got him in office with no public vote at all. This I'm actually reminding everyone of because it's relevant to what this Wankstein has to say in this clip relating to net zero and a referendum like Brexit.
MPs are split on climate change. There is this suggestion from some of them that you should hold a referendum on the net zero target for 2050. What's your feeling about that?
I'm committed to net zero. I have two young daughters. I care about the environment and the climate that I leave them. And part of my job is to leave it in a better state than I found it. But I think the path to net zero has got to be one that we tread carefully.
But why not just put it to the people?
But I think actually there's agreement on it. I think most people are committed to getting to net zero, but getting there in a proportionate and pragmatic way. That seems to me the common sense approach to doing this. I think that has broad support.
Well, that was a barrage of bullshit, so let's take it apart piece by piece. First, him saying he's committed to net zero's about as shocking as the BBC being biased, but I gotta call out the pure tripe that claims net zero has anything to do with helping the environment. People need to remember it's net zero, not absolute zero, so that means pollution still happens. You're just paying money to claim you've offset this and that pollution, which we all know is simply a massive scam. Plus, the crap they claim will take us to net zero, like electric cars causes more pollution than petrol and diesel cars running for 25 years, and that's just to make the electric ones. This is because the minerals needed are energy intensive and are being mined by some half-starved African kid in a place that looks like hell with no idea what net zero is, so yeah, it's just bollocks. After that, he's then pushed by Peston to answer the bloody question about a referendum on net zero, which obviously has him saying no, but in a lot more words, where he actually tries to tell us what we agree with and what we don't.
But why not just put it to the people?
But I think actually there's agreement on it. I think most people are committed to getting to net zero, but getting there in a proportionate and pragmatic way. That seems to me the common sense approach to doing this. I think that has broad support.
Yeah, Tosspot, I can tell you now, it don't have broad support from anyone who knows about it, and it wouldn't have any support if most people actually knew what it involved. This is why these corrupt Tosspots will never allow a referendum to take place, and certainly not after the Brexit one went the way they didn't want it to. That has taught the political class that anything they want is likely to be the complete opposite to the public, and so they should never be asked again. Rishi Sunak knows the public won't support his plan because, let's be honest, they don't even support him, and the second they're told how much it will cost and what it all entails, the few who do will say fuck that. He knows most people just think it's only going to change how we create energy, which is about as wrong as you can get. Instead, it will mean social credit scores, carbon credits, no private cars for the peasants, no holidays, no worthwhile heating system, no meat and 15-minute cities, which these scumbags don't want the sheep to see. A referendum means the truth would be out there for more people to see, as tosspots like Rishi Sunak fully know. They don't want the moron millions who rot their brains watching Love Island to see the anti-net zero campaign pointing all this out, because if they did, net zero's completely finished. Remember, the sheep only went along with the pandemic crap because the government paid them to with furlough, but they won't go along with net zero when they realise its entire plan is aimed at costing them money, well, that and freedom also. This would become mainstream information in a referendum campaign, and this corrupt little weasel knows that too well. Then he would lose another public vote, which is about the only thing he's actually good at if we're honest. This is why they won't make the same mistake again, and why he danced around the question as much as he could without saying no directly. At this point, you got more chance of me becoming world king than him having a referendum on literally anything. The WEF don't do democracy, and this tosspot is their puppet, not ours, let's never forget.
Pandemic.
We're all